I'm Dottie, stitching Scotty, and this is one of my Scotties, Winston, and the other one is Striker, and we're up in the mountains of western North Carolina, and we're just stitching, stitching, stitching. Our plans have changed just a little bit, so we were able to come up, and we weren't expecting to, but anyway, today is August the 2nd, 2025. It's a Saturday, and we're just glad to be here. We got caught out in the rain on a walk, and that's why we all look like kind of bedraggled. So I hope you'll put up with us today. We've got lots of cross stitch to share. I've got a fully finished object. I have some whips. We've got a featured Etsy shop today. We've got 40 free Christmas patterns. I meant to show these last week, and I just lost track. So we appreciate you, and just hope you enjoy the videos today, and let me give the dogs their treats. Okay, this video is a little different today because I wasn't planning on being up here, and I forgot a few things. One were my boards. So don't ask me why I took them home. I have no idea. But anyway, first we're going to start out with Happy Mail. Okay, I don't have a lot, but I got the sweetest Happy Mail, and it says, "Lucky me to have a friend like you." It is just the sweetest card. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And there was the sweetest note on the inside. And inside, because she lives in New York near Hobby House, where the Erie Canal is, they are celebrating the 200th year of the Erie Canal. So she sent me the sticker to put in my book of days. So thank you so much, Christine. I really, really appreciate it. You are so sweet and a really, really good friend. She has a schnauzer, and her name is Emma, and she's a very, very cute little dog. And I think every now and then she gets in a little bit of trouble. So when I show my August page, I will make sure I have this sticker in there to remember that. And also, I got another one at the Stitch and Thrift Retreat, and I owe Jennifer an apology. This is Shiny Little Bits, and that's the name of her Etsy shop, and she will be our featured Etsy shop next week. She has some cute, cute things. All right, let's talk about my book of days. Okay, it's July, and I still have not found my Primrose Cottage patriotic stickers, so I just stuck a couple of other things in there. You know, I've got my Colorado sticker that Miss June gave me. I've got a bee sticker from Primrose Cottage. Then I've got a Christmas tree from who knows where, and this Silly Goose on the Loose, which I got at the Live and Die Stitch LA retreat. And then I've got this cute cross stitch hoop and some candy canes because of Jolly July. I stitched every day this week but one month but one, so that was pretty good. And it was, you know, I got a good amount of stitching done, but the only thing is I only got 3 finishes this month. So yeah, but and one of those I have today, and I'm going to show this. This is going to go for my hashtag 13 for the 250th stitch along. And this is red, white, and spools from Primrose Cottage Stitches. This pattern was just so much fun to stitch. I really, really enjoyed it. And it's on 32 count fabric flare stone effect is what it's called. And I do apologize. I also didn't iron because I thought, well, if I don't have the boards, and it's rainy today and it's 66 degrees. I just didn't feel like ironing. I've been hot all week in South Carolina, and I came up here because it was cooler. Yes. And this is my finish. Isn't that cute? I just love this. And I used what colors I had. I did substitute Rami's Creations for the Color and Cotton Cherry Cobbler. I substituted Antiquities for the Marigold. It was Color and Cotton. I substituted Rami's Creations Stacy Blue for the Stargazing, and I just went ahead and used B5200 for the white. And I'm going to show this again. I just love it, and I can't wait to get this fully finished and make a pillow out of it. It's really cute, and I'm using 2 strands over 2 threads. So that was one finish. I'm gonna lay that over there. And then my FFO, or fully finished objects, and I'm bad, and Karen, I'm so sorry. I co-hosted this stitch along with Karen the Stitching Owl, and I've just kind of pooped out. I didn't even stitch on it in Jolly July much. And this was 12 days of Christmas stocking sale. And there's been a lot of you that have finished yours. And I've got 4 done, and I'm on number 5. But this is my fully finished piece. I watched the Vanna Pfeiffer video on her new cording video on how to make the cording. And I made my cording with 816 and 501 DMC for a perfect match. And my glue, I'm going to have to get that off. I didn't do any more because I didn't have any Eileen's glue, and I cheated and used Elmer's, and I'm not going to be doing that again. And this is the back of some quilting fabric I had in my stash. I think this was like a layer cake part of it. But I love this. It's on this black that's called for. I want to say it's 28 count, yes, linen, and well, no, it's even weave, and I'm using all the call for DMCs. Okay, so there's number 1 finished. I said I was going to finish them all at one time. I told another story. That's very, very normal here lately. So that's 1 finish and 1 FFO this week. I haven't had many FFOs this month. Like I said, I've had 3, I think it was. Let me look. No, I've had 1 FFO this month. And no, now 2. 2 FFOs. So there you go. All right, so next we have some works in progress. And I'm going to wait and show that later. Okay, one of them was a whip go piece for July. And my whip go this year, I've decided that last year I overdid it because I said, oh, finish this, finish that. You know, I'm just going to finish everything. Well, that didn't happen. So I thought, well, I'm going to do something else. So I thought, well, I'm going to stitch on these 4 days and see what I can get done. And if I get it done, fine, I'll work on something else. If I don't get it done, I will just have that much done. So the numbers were number 2 and 15, I think. Let me look. No, 2 and 16. So number 2 was a holiday stitch, was what I put on my board. So I decided, you know, I need some Thanksgiving pieces done. So I let Thanksgiving be my choice. And Coming to America has started sailing once again because it, you know, like I said, it's been stuck on a sandbar for quite some time. And I really, really want to finish this piece. I really do. But I got bogged down on the seagulls. So, and I apologize that it's wrinkled. But this is what I have done. See, I got under Cape Cod, and I got one lady, one headless lady, and some flowers, and the cross, and two pigs, and let me go up closer, and 2 chickens. So that's all I've got done. And I just got really tired. I wanted to finish and give that lady a head, but I just couldn't. And the pigs don't have any eyes or nose or mouths either. But that will be happening. I hope to continue to stitch on this one some because it's so pretty. And now that I'm almost down to the words, I was like, oh boy, these will go fast. And then I can get down here and get this done. Yeah. And this is on 36 count. I'm using 1 strand of all the call for threads. And I'm really pleased that I met my whip go goal on that one. Really pleased. Oops, we've got a tangle here. Oh goodness. Okay. Oops, that was not good. Okay, so I'm going to put that over there. Next, I have my other whip go stitch, was going to be a biscornu. And I just knew I was going to finish this. Well, that didn't happen either. I started this on New Year's Day. It was one of my 12 starts for New Year's Day. And this is from Barbara Anna Designs, and it's called Boot Scornu. Those ghosts, oh my, they were something. This one is on Picture This Plus, Kermit. Yeah, I started to say Kermit the Frog, but it's Kermit. And then it's on 32 count, and this is, like I said, Picture This Plus. And here is all I got done. Oops. And it's not ironed either. Now, I did label it T for top, and I've got the boots started. The candy corn flowers, I've got those done. So pretty soon this should be a finish. This is close to being finished, you know, pretty close. But I stitched 4 days on that, and I know it doesn't look like it, but it was stitch a ghost, take a ghost out. Stitch a ghost, take a ghost out. Yeah. And then when I got to the boots, it was a lot better. I only had to take one candy corn out. So that's why it doesn't look like I got a lot stitched. And then too, there were some weeks I didn't have much time because I was either traveling or, you know, when you're traveling, sometimes that takes up most of the day, especially if you go after work, and yeah, there's no time to stitch. Okay, so that was my whip go for July, and I was able to mark off those. So this is what my whip go board looks like. It's very primitive. So in August, Jessie Marie does stuff. I forgot to tell this. She facilitates the Whip Go 2025, and she draws 2 numbers on the 25th of every month. And this month she drew number 15 and number 12. And my number 12 shows a summer stitch. And so far, I've not been able to find a whip that is a summer stitch. Imagine that. As many as I have. And then August is supposed to be the closest finish. Okay. It would probably be the biscornu, but right now I'm not biscornuing anymore for a little bit because I'm going to take a little break, a day or two break, maybe, or a week, and then maybe I'll come back to it. But I found one that's even closer than the biscornu, and that one is the Annie B's 12 Days of Christmas Stockings, and it's number 5. It's the 5 gold rings. And this is on 28 count. Yep. Even weave. And all I need are the 5 gold rings and some more vine. And this is 2 strands over 2 threads. So hopefully this will be a finish. And if I finish this one, then I can do number 6, maybe. Who knows? Or, well, no, not number 6. I can go on and finish Bootscornu because it will be a close finish, or something else. Who knows? So, but summer will, yeah, I'm still going to be looking when I get home. So that's going to be interesting. Still don't have a bingo, but just think, after August, if they pull number 25, that's a Mill Hill kit, I will have a bingo if I get that one done. Or if they pull a hats project, I'll have a bingo across here if I get that one done. Or if they pull number 17, I'll do a winter project, you know, if I get that one done and can cross it off. So that's good. So I met my goal on those. All right, and then it was Jolly July. And for Jolly July, I stitched a few Christmas things, not a lot. I was just kind of on patriotic stuff. I stitched like the Magic Winter. I stitched, yeah, that was about it. Goodness. And I kept saying, oh, I'm going to do more, and never got around to it. So I didn't participate too much in Jolly July, so I was kind of shamed. So I drug out the Nativity Tiny Town. Didn't get much done on this because I only stitched on it one day. I mean, My Jolly July was, yeah. And this one is on a piece of 28 count fabric that I found in my stash. And this is all I've got done. I added one more building. And it wasn't even the entire building. And filled in a window thing on a couple of, on another building. But I'm using 2 strands over 2. And this is by Heart and Hand. And I was going to put the frill, which were the 3 wise men on the end, but now they've come out with the shepherds. So I don't think I have enough fabric for all of it. So I'll probably just make those 2 little cubes or something, or maybe small flat folds. I'm not sure, but we'll see. But anyway, so that was my little bit of Jolly July. My July wasn't too jolly, was it? Okay, and let me see. Okay. Didn't do much Flosstube watching. Like I said, we've had a busy week, and I'll talk about that later. But I did join the Rocky Mountain Sampler Guild a couple of weeks ago, and I forgot to tell about that. So I'm excited to participate, and I got their book club email. So I'm excited about getting to read the book and participate in the book club. So for our 40 free patterns, they're 40 American Christmas patterns is what we have. And I will link I'll put the link below, and I'm going to show you some of them. This is that. And then we have gingerbread men, candle, snow, Christmas tree, poinsettia. These would make nice little Christmas ornaments. And the key. And then here's some more. Santa, mittens, snowman. So, like I said, I will link that below, and I hope that you find something that you would like to stitch on that and make it worth your while. Okay, our featured Etsy shop is Heartland Quilt. Okay, let me get this right because I always mess this up. Heartland Quilt and Stitch, okay? And the reason I chose them is they are 2 sweet ladies. I met them when I went last year to the Too Tall Stitchers retreat in the spring, and they're the Cornhusk State Stitchers. The Cornhusk Stitchers, I think is what they are. So sorry. But anyway, their Etsy shop has really grown, and they are really nice. They give great service because I've ordered stuff from them. And this one, I thought I'd pick out some of my favorites and show you. This one is called The Sweet Birds Sing, and it's by Blackbird Designs. And it's 3 projects based on a Welsh sampler. Isn't that pretty? Then we have Honeybee Sampler from Pansy Patch Quilts and Stitching. That is really pretty. You know, bees are it. And you could take some of these and you could either make a drum, you could make a small or several smalls. And that would just be so nice. Then we have Jack and Jill from Creasy, Finally a Farm Girl. I think those are adorable. And it's getting about time to start your fall stitching. Then Franny Ritter Design has tiny stockings. You can do these on fabric or you can do them on perforated paper. Then we have by Shakespeare's Peddler. This is one of my favorites, Joy. Isn't that pretty? And we also have Winter Windmill by Paddock Lane Designs. And I love those blues on there. And the windmill is very, it reminds me of the Midwest, or, you know, the plains and everything. Then she also has Rick Rack Trim by Lady Dot Creates. She has Sparrow Pink is one of the ones I picked. But she has they have lots of other colors. Then we have from Jeanette Douglas, Christmas Dot Series. So pretty. We also have the Winged Monarch Mill Hill Kit. Just look at that butterfly. And you don't have to do it on perforated paper. You can do it on fabric, you know, if you want to, or you can do it on a mesh bag. Then they also have some 32 count Lugana. And I know several of you are looking for Lugana, Dolores included. And of course she's not here because guess what? She's in Charleston. And she's having a good time and hot. I hate your hot, Dolores. It's 66 degrees here and rainy. But anyway, this is 32 count wild berry Lugana. I really do hate your hot, Dolores. I really do. Isn't that pretty? I love that color. They have other colors also. I just showed that one because it was such a pretty color. Be Humble by Erin Elizabeth. And I'm not even showing hardly any of their patterns, so you be sure and check them out. And this is one I've never seen. It's by Wildflower Stitching, and it's called Justice for All with Floss. Isn't that pretty? I thought it was one of those thread milk buttons at first, and then when I looked, I was like, oh, look at that. So that's a got to have. Then Outdoor Adventure by Mill Hill. Isn't that cute? And it's the whole kit. You'll get everything you need but the scissors to cut the threads with. And then Let It Snow 2 by Serenita de Campagna. I hope I said that right. Isn't that cute? And Sweet Land by Teresa Kogut. So pretty. All her patterns are just beautiful. And then they also have several pieces of 20 count vintage country mocha and other colors. And 20 count sometimes is not at every shop, so that's why I thought I'd show this for those of you that like to stitch on 20 count Ada. It's such a pretty fabric. Then Pins and Needles from Prairie Schooler. Such cute patterns. And American Sampler from Primrose Cottage Stitches. I really like that one. You can tell I'm still in the patriotic mode. Strong and Courageous from Sweet Wing Studio. That's a beautiful pattern. Susan does such a good job with her patterns. My Home Sweet Home from Sweet Wing Studio. It's another favorite of mine. That is one big flag. Forever in Peace by Sweet Wing Studio. And 32 count Lugana Sarah by Grace Notes Fabrics. So see, there's more Lugana. And then Wordy Birds Monthly Club they have. And the one that I'm showing is May. But it doesn't say May. It just says Life is the flower, love is the honey. Isn't that pretty? I just thought those little chickadees were so cute. So, go on over and check out Heartland Quilt Stitch in the Etsy shop. I will link that below. They are two sweet, sweet ladies, and I think you should check them out. All right, so now, last but not least, my plans are to stitch on my Whip Go. My goal for August is to try to get some finishes in and some fully finished objects because, oh, my stack is getting high. I'm not real big on that. And then this month, I had 4 new starts. I started Sam. I started Red, White, and Spool. Excuse me. I started ABC School Sampler. And I thought I started something else. Sisterhood of the Needle. And of course, I gave that away as a swap. I had 3 finishes. 1 fully finished objects. I had 1 day I didn't stitch. I only went to 1 retreat. I didn't get to go to any stitch-ins. That was sad. I worked on 10 of my works in progress or whips. And I didn't have any restarts. And the stitch-alongs I participated in were hashtag 13 for the 250th Sal with Nancy the Disorderly Stitcher and Nancy the Laughing Stitcher. I participated in hashtag FFO Challenge 2025 by the skin of my teeth with the stocking. That's with Jen Quilter and Penny's Daughter Shares. And Whip Go 2025 with Jessie Marie Does Stuff and loads of other people. And I also participated in cross-stitch camp with Colorado Cross Stitcher with the Sisterhood of the Needle. So that's hashtag cross-stitch camp and hashtag Colorado Cross Stitch. Okay, so I'm up in works in progress. I now have 127. We've got to do something about that. It doesn't really bother me, but I would like to have it in 2 numbers instead of 3, because if I don't start it, I can't finish it. So there you go. But anyway, for those of you that are interested or not interested, I'm going to talk a little bit about Stryker and Winston and our eventful week. I would say it was exciting, but that would be a lie. If you're not interested, you can turn it off now. Please like and subscribe the video if you see something you enjoyed. Come back, because I have, like I said, 127 whips, and there's got to be something that you will enjoy. And I finish a lot too, so and fully finished things. So hopefully you'll come back and visit with me again. And thank you for all those that keep coming back and coming back. So anyway, this week, the first thing that we did, I went home from the camper, let the dogs out at night, and here comes a possum down what I call the Possum Highway, which is our privacy fence. Well, 30 minutes later, we finally got the dogs to go in. I swear, I think they were going to try to knock the possum off the fence. It was a big one, too. He didn't much like us. So that was, like, we're glad we're going in. So then Monday night went by uneventful. Tuesday night went by uneventful. No, Tuesday, excuse me. During the day, I hear all this yippy, excited barking, and Stryker and Winston, they are barking at this black snake. And I'm thinking, well, it's just a black snake. It's no big deal. I don't like snakes. Well, it was a black racer snake. And for those of you that have not heard about the black racers, those are black snakes. And everybody is always telling me, oh, black snakes are good, blah, blah, blah. Well, these racers are not good. They're very aggressive, and they chase you. Because I've been chased in my own backyard before, and Stryker and Winston were getting chased. So they were, barking. And this snake had its mouth open really wide, and it was really trying to take a piece of them. This is the only snake I know that Stryker was not fast enough to kill. It got away. And we still haven't found it or the hole it came out of. But when it does come out, it's going to be dead if I have anything to do with it. And for all you people that like snakes, I am so sorry. But, some people don't like spiders. I don't like snakes. But anyway, moving on. So that was interesting. That was about an hour of like, come on, come on. And that snake was lunging and jumping so much, there was no way I was going out there with a hoe to try to get it, because I was afraid he was going to jump on me, and then I would have had a heart attack and died. So that would not have been good. Then the very next evening, I was Zooming with some of my StitchCon friends, and I hear this yippy. No, it was Friend Stitch friends. Yeah, sorry. Because I belonged to a Friend Stitch Zoom for several years. So anyway, I hear this funny little yip at the back door. Yip, yip, yip. And I go to the door. It's Stryker. And he has a box turtle in his mouth. Now, it's not wide open. The turtle is like the shell is hanging like here. And he's got it. So I go to try to get the turtle out of his mouth, and he sees me coming toward him, and he takes off back out in the yard. Evidently, he dropped the turtle somewhere, or else the turtle got loose. I don't know which. But he comes back to the door, and he has no turtle. So he comes in, and he's shaking his head and breathing hard, and the next thing I know, he's very, very sick. And very, very sick again. I mean, I didn't know so much stuff could come out of one dog. So we called the emergency vet, and they advised us to watch him, overnight, unless he threw up again, and if so, to bring him in. So I took him to the vet the first thing in the morning, and they did x-rays. He did not eat any turtle shell, but he must have eaten a piece of the turtle, like its leg or something. And for those of you that like turtles, I'm so sorry. But this turtle didn't need to be in my yard. I have no water. And, you know, and my little dog, he's a Scottie. He's a terrier. And I mean, our lizards don't have tails. You know, the squirrels don't dare come out of the trees because they know it's going to be the end. Because terriers just do that. They're dogs. So he was very sick, so he had to stay for observation for the whole day. And he got a shot for nausea. And then he got lots of pills for, and antibiotics for, I'll say lots of pills. He got an antibiotic for infection. Because turtles carry salmonella and other diseases. So that was not good. They told me to wash my hands real good, you know, and clean and things. So the house got Lysol'd and the floor got mopped numerous times and threw the mop away. And so hopefully, oh yes, and he got special food that's very expensive for gastrointestinal issues, which is what he's having. And we go back in 2 weeks for him to be looked at again. So hopefully, you know, he's going to be okay. He's lethargic to a point, like he's not real hoppy around and jump. And like when dogs go by, he just kind of looks at them and he doesn't bark or anything. And that's not Striker. So anyway, if you would say a little prayer for my little dog, my little Scottie dog Striker, and I know he looks pretty good. He's doing a lot better than he was, and he's not been sick again, but he's not had anything to eat. Except that, and he will start getting his regular food tomorrow. So, anyway, I know I don't talk much about myself or anything or the dogs. The rest of my family is really good, but I know it seems like all I care about is dogs, but you know, I just don't have a lot to say. I work, I stitch, and I play with my dogs, and I camp, and that's about it. And I love my family, of course, and God, of course. And should have said that first. And anyway, I love my stitchy friends. I do. And thank you so much. I know y'all love Striker, and that's why I bothered to tell you this long story. And I just appreciate your prayers and your well wishes for Striker. And Winston's okay. He just stood back and watched, except for the snake thing. He did get in on that, but he was like, no, I'm not fast enough. But anyway, I hope y'all have a good week. Start all the things, stitch a lot, and be well. And remember, if you don't start it, you can't finish it. And I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.